feel it's so selfish right now because it's like I said, I was bringing up what I brought up earlier on the tough subject, and now here I am talking about my issues and problems. Like, scrap the podcast. Episode 61's out the door. And we were told that as kids, but we were the future. Look how well that went. We that up. We that up. Effed it all up. Such a big agenda of the devil's, man. That's one way he gets to God is through the children. But ain't nobody gonna care about that. I mean, shoot, people ain't caring about the school shootings or people dying, you know? So why is anybody gonna care about me or my problems? Don't take that the wrong way. Come on now. I'm not trying to compare situations. Damn it, Ryan, why'd you back yourself into this corner? You know what I mean? What in the world is going on out there? Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Real Talk After Dark. I am your host, Ryan. We keep it real about life and film. I don't know what that dramatic pause was, unexpected pause, but welcome back to yet another episode. It's gonna be the rye today. I really don't know how to talk or get into this. It's not gonna be a super lighthearted episode. I might try to keep it a little light maybe at the end, but it's a tough subject to talk about, because last week we unfortunately had yet another school shooting, this time at a Catholic school. 2 children died, unfortunately, and I apologize if I do not get your names or if I do not pronounce them correctly here out in Minneapolis. But Fletcher Merkel, who was 8, and Harper Moaski, who was 10, lost their lives, and there was I believe was it like 17 victims. It's absolutely unfortunate. Does not need to be happening. It needs to stop happening. And everybody wants to go straight into the gun problem. It's guns, and it's just it's funny, but it's not funny because guns do not kill people. Yeah, maybe the bullet that was inside the gun fired and killed the person, but who was behind that? Because triggers and guns, they just don't pull themselves. So, I mean, come on now. That's ridiculous. It's a mental health problem. And this country, this world, people need to take that so much more seriously, because some people who are fortunately enough to not deal with it, I feel like in some way, shape, or form, we all do. But if you're lucky enough to not have to do that and not have to draw yourself to worldly things and try to escape through drugs and alcohol and stuff, you never had to worry about that, consider yourselves very, very lucky, because it's not really a path that anybody really wants to go down. It just kind of starts, and then the ball gets rolling, like they say with the snowball effect. The ball keeps rolling, it gets bigger, and then it's hard to break that once you get into that cycle. And everybody thinks like, oh, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. It's like, well, you take a walk in my shoes and you'll find out, and you'll see. But it's just absolutely sad, because so far in 2025, just this year alone, we're not even through. We still got 4 months left, and yet there's been 44 school shootings. Like, why is that still happening? Why is that a thing? Why? It's ridiculous. They say it's 22 on college campuses and 22, so it's basically half and half on college and kindergarten through 12 grades. Nobody needs to deal with that, no matter your age, how little or how big or whatever. Kids especially, because they are the future. I mean, we were told that as kids, but we were the future. Look how well that went. We that up. We that up. Effed it all up. A, B, C, D, E, F'd up. Hardcore. But it's not too late, because we can change. Not only that, but we can help the other generation change. But then people are trying to shove so much down the kid's throat and change them before they get there. And that's such a big agenda of the devil's, man. That's one way he gets to God is through the children. There's no other greater way that he can pull those strings. And so many people are blind to that spiritual warfare that's out there, that's happening, that we do not see or cannot comprehend with our own mind, our human minds. We are just humans. We do not know everything. How do we learn things? We study and read and watch documentaries and stuff like that. we got to learn things, okay, people? We need to learn to take care of one another and this young generation, this youth better, because we are effing it all up. The kids are the future. We got to take care of them and raise them right. All right. This is ridiculous, man. And I think, what is it? There's been 74 injured, I believe. What's really crazy is there's been a total of 502 school shootings. That's just an impossible number. There shouldn't even be one, but literally the triple digits, nearing the 4 digits, halfway. There's been over 1,700 dead and over 4,300 victims. You sit and take that number in. It's one too many. One too many. These things shouldn't even be happening, regardless of, schools are the big important ones because kids are losing their lives. They don't even get a full chance to grow up and live and everything. But the fact that this is also happening other places, it's just got to stop. We need to help one another and be kind to one another. There's places going downhill, and we're start to get to that point where we get a little selfish and we're not taking care of one another. We got to take care of ourselves, obviously, first to be able to help one another. But we can't just be tearing one another down. I see it so much, especially online, especially TikTok. I absolutely am really despising getting back on there just because of how not only sensitive TikTok is, but just how crazy people are, because you can't even express your own opinion anymore without somebody thinking you're a troll or a rage baiter or anything like that, or a snowflake or crybaby. This is like, what, we can't have a civil conversation? You're the one that posted. I reacted. You commented back. So we're having a conversation until the point you can't handle it no more. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. People need to really stop and let all that go. We got to work together. We got to be better. We got to do better. And I don't know how often I got to talk about it or say it, but it just doesn't need to be happening. And it's just sad. It really is sad. And just taking a look at the numbers here, writing it down, it's ridiculous. And because we are kind of we keep it real about life and film, a recommendation, not that anybody needs to relive anything like that or live it, but it was really well done. I think it was done respectfully. And they kind of put you in the situation of what it might be like, but Run, Hide, Fight is a really great, I believe it's a school. I don't know if it's a high school or college, but, either or, it's still school and kids are, students are in there, and it was really well done, film, but I recommend that definitely. But it's just sad to see where it's all going. I got so much on my mind that I'd like to express or talk about, but then, the moment you do, all hell breaks loose. You know what I mean? You can't even speak your own mind anymore without anybody getting super sensitive about it or butthurt and having to come at you. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. It's ridiculous. There's just so much going on, and I just don't think that it's appropriate for anybody to walk in and decide to take someone else's life. Regardless, it just shouldn't happen. And it breaks my heart. And I don't know if, I think it hits me more now that I'm a dad, but it also, I've always cared about it deep down, and being a dad, it definitely hurts when I send my son off to school. You just never know, but our school has a really good security, and they have a cop there and everything, which all schools should have, especially at this point. Look at how they guard so many different things, and they got security for so many different details and people and celebrities and stuff like that. But what about the kids? You know what I mean? So many people idolize celebrities and stuff. And I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he's a great guy, and I love his films and stuff. And maybe I idolize him a little too much when I was younger. But as you get older, you realize, they're all human beings and they're people too and stuff. You can look up to them, but don't sit there and treat them like they're, a god or something like that, and idolize and stuff like that. I don't really know where to move on from there, because there's not really much to say except for why is it happening? It shouldn't be happening. Keep the kids safe, protect them. And it's so sad. It just breaks my heart. And there's so much I want to say. Sometimes I got this rage inside of me that's like, I don't know what I need to say or do to, like sometimes you got to stoop on another level, even though you shouldn't. But sometimes it's like, what do I need to do? Do I need to do I need to scream and holler and raise my voice just so you guys can freaking understand how serious this is? I mean, do I gotta go there? I really don't want to. I don't like to. I like to keep it calm and chill. I'm a chill guy. But it's like, for real, do I need to get there? I mean, because like so many people are outraged, of course, rightfully so, But it's sad. There's so much I want to talk about. Maybe like, I would appreciate some suggestions if people actually listened and connected, and actually, the community would make some comments stuff, and then that way we can go from there. But I'm trying to figure out where we go from here and stuff, because, like I said before, the one thing that's nice about having a podcast that's not really popular or taking off and people don't listen to is the fact that you can pretty much say or do whatever you want, and ain't nobody gonna know until one day it does boom and people go back and listen like, Ryan, why would you say that? Why would you do that? I show my nipple and everybody be like, huh? Especially if you're listening on audio, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta go to YouTube now. Did you show his nipple? No, that's the OnlyFans. Just kidding. There ain't gonna be no OnlyFans. And see, it feels so like weird and off-putting in a sense too, to just start it off like that, and then get drop some jokes and laugh and stuff like that, because it's nothing to laugh about, that topic and stuff. But you gotta stay happy, stay positive, stay in the mindset, choose positivity over negativity. I understand it's a very horrible, negative situation, tough situation nobody needs to go through, especially the parents, unfortunately, dealing with this. But I just think that everybody just needs to come together, and we got to figure this out. And there's so many people out there in power that are evil and doing horrible things. They're the people, and people don't want to point the fingers and blame the people causing this. They just immediately want to go straight to blaming God. And it's like, I get it. I've been there myself. I've been there in the past where I was like, I didn't want it. I wanted to choose that wide, narrow road, take the easy way out, and not deal with the hardships and trials and tribulations of life and stuff like that we got to go through and endure to gain our wisdom and knowledge and become smarter and be a better person. And that's how we grow, and then we teach that. We show people what we can do with God, and what we can do together. United we stand, divided we fall, and we're seeing it more and more and more, and it's just sad and ridiculous. And there's so much I would like to talk about. I don't know how long or how much detail I could get into with some of this stuff, but I would love to talk about a little bit more religious stuff, especially false religion. I would love to maybe dedicate an episode on false religion, because there's so much that you could talk and discuss there about the people behind false religion that are teaching other worldly things and not, of God's teachings. And it's crazy, man. And on that topic, I don't know if anybody knew about this. They just dropped a trailer for a movie titled The Carpenter's Son, and this has just like sparked an outrage, and especially the Christian community. A lot of people just need to take a chill pill, because like, as much as I don't like it either, you got to understand Hollywood's going to do what they do, and we're always going to be ridiculed and mocked and this and that. It's Jesus dealt with it. It's stated in the Bible. We're going to deal with it too. And it's just something you just got to live with, and you got to block it out. Like they used to say, block out the haters. You just got to block that out and show them, actions speak louder than words. So you got to live that life and show those that you're living that word. You know what I mean? And people, that's why Christians and people in religion and stuff get such a bad rep, because people want to sit there and not live by the word and live a double standard life and stuff like that, and still be a hypocrite and live out, be a sinner, all that stuff, go out and party and everything, go to church and then call it a day and be like, oh, I'm good to go with God. You know what I mean? But that's not good enough. And people need to understand that it's a more serious situation. But I mean, you know what I mean. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know what I mean. So if people have that information, they can do with it what they want to do with it. But that's going to be about as far as it goes. You know what I mean. But anyway, back on topic with the Carpenter's son, Nicolas Cage is starring in it. I think he's playing Joseph, but it's like basically a Bible horror movie. They're doing a horror movie and stuff, and it's so ironic because God will not be mocked that on set when they were filming, Nicolas Cage got attacked by bees in real life while making that movie. And it's ironic too, in a sense, because he made that one movie. What was it, The Wicker Man, where he got the bees? Like, oh no, not the bees, not the bees. You know, he got to live that in real life. You know, and that's something that you shouldn't be doing. It's sad. And I know so many people say, you know, I know that there's things that happen in the Bible that are horrific, and there's some horror stories in there that whatever. So people want to bring that up, like, oh, so many people are upset over a horror movie, but it's like you don't understand the concept of it. You know what I mean? Like the context of that film, what they're doing. Like it's not there, and they might even change some things, and that's not going to be good either. They shouldn't be changing anything from or out of the Bible or the story of Jesus and stuff like that, but they're probably going to. But yeah, Nicolas Cage kind of lost a lot of my respect in that sense because I really enjoyed some of his movies, but I can still enjoy his work without supporting him. I'm not going to watch any more of his newer stuff that's going to come out, but some of his older stuff that I already do own, I'm not going to just burn it. I mean, probably some people say, you probably should get that out, burn it, get it out of here. But I definitely enjoy doing these a lot more with a guest. I miss my co-hosts. TJ, darn it, if you just didn't have to be an immature little butthurt butthole. My goodness. Still love you, man, but dang it. And then it's hard with Sarah and our schedule. And then the days sneak up, and I'm just like, well, I got to put something out. And I'm not going to just leave it hanging. So it is what it is, but there was a lot more I'd like to talk about and stuff, but I want to just bring up the fact that people need to start taking things a little bit more serious, and care for one another, because it's just a hard time already in general for everybody. I just feel so bad for people in today's times and situations, because there's somebody I overheard one day talking about how they had so many problems just kind of happen at once. They were like, well, at least my bills are paid, but they're like, I don't know if I'm going to have, you know, enough to live on or get by on until next. You know, like people are struggling literally paycheck to paycheck now. Like it's literally like, it's so sad. It's hard times, man. And I'd like to see this podcast go somewhere, you know, and then we can start bringing on guests and have a good time with them and you know, stuff like that. But I've been trying to get other people on, but schedules, again, it's just all about scheduling, timing, distance. I mean, that doesn't help. And I feel like I got so much on my mind, and I'm trying to do so much, and I'm overloading my brain, and then I get, you know, and then I just can't do it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I feel so selfish right now, because it's like I said, I was bringing up what I brought up earlier on the tough subject, and now here I am talking about my issues and problems. Like, scrap the podcast. Episode 61's out the door. It's gone. Never see the light of day again, even though you're watching, listening right now. I can't do that. I can't scrap it. Mainly because you gotta pay respect. You gotta pay respect to the ones who unfortunately aren't here no more, because some idiot couldn't control how they felt and wanted to take it out on others and then on themselves instead of just on themselves first. Although I don't think anybody should take that route either. You should seek the help before it even gets that far. But it breaks my heart. I'm not even going to talk about the suspect. The victims are what matter. They're the ones that has their life changed, especially all their families around them, friends. I don't know why we glorify the suspect so much. the shooter so much. They always got their pictures up front page, always got their name, but you barely ever, and then they talk about them like in a small paragraph or something, the victims, but otherwise they're like always about this person, this person, this person. And people got such an obsession with that, and I understand the wanting to understand and know. There's nothing wrong with that, because I watch a fictional serial killer, Dexter. I get the fascination, but in real life, the victims are who matter, and we got to stop glorifying the shooters. And we still got to start helping one another and be better for one another and do better. I don't understand why we can't. And so I know it's so hard. And then you get into a lifestyle habit, and then it's hard to change that. I'm really trying to do better myself with content. And, my problems don't even seem that big anymore. You know what I mean? They seem small with all the other things going on. But, obviously as a person, and you're living this life, I got so much I got to do, get caught up on, and that's my fault. I allowed that to happen, but that's also because I was just too busy enjoying life and hanging out with my boy. I thought I'd have more time to do things, but before he was born, I knew there was going to be a break, but I wasn't thinking a 5-year hiatus, man. It's been rough. Growing on the channels hasn't been very successful. It's baby steps. You get a little bit of engagement here and there, but it is what it is. I'm not. When I first started all this, it's literally has always been to just simply entertain and help people smile. It's a normal person going through it too. We all do, and I'm just trying to be real, keep it real about life and film. Yeah. But for real. I'm sorry, guys. It breaks my heart that we have to go through this as a society. Just all of it. The hate. The fact that people can hate on somebody so much they want to see them die, and that when somebody dies that they want to see die, they're going to cheer for it. And I don't think we should celebrate anybody's death. Obviously, somebody dies and you have the funeral and stuff like that. Like, you remember when they died, like their death date and stuff like that. And you try to celebrate their life, not their death. But you're there to celebrate their life. And so many people, and I know this is an iffy, touchy subject too, but you got abortion too, and so many people are totally for just killing, and that's killing kids. Again, you're killing a generation, you know what I mean? I understand, it's still a tough subject, even when it comes down to one or the other is going to lose their life. So is it the baby or the mom? You know what I mean? I can see that, but for everybody who is literally just without the responsibility or taking accountability, just free balling it and just opening them legs and having a free for all, going to town, not thinking about the consequences. And then you're like, well, we'll get pregnant, we'll just abort it or whatever, and it's just like, that should never even be a last, decision, last minute. That shouldn't even be the bottom of the list. That shouldn't even be on the list. You know what I mean? But so many people are just doing that now. And it's even sadder because I know some people that, unfortunately, there's women out there that can't get pregnant, and they try and try and try, and they finally do. And then you got women who are just like fertile like crazy and having abortion after abortion. Like, I've seen people on TikTok promoting it. Like, I've had 10 abortions now, or I might be overshooting it, but like I've said, I've had like 3 abortions now, and I'm so happy about every single one. And it's like, how and why? Like, why? They got birth control, they have condoms, they have all that stuff. It's there. They got the stuff for you, but you'd rather take the worst route, which is sad. And I'm not trying to hate on anybody that has or will or anything like that. I'm not here to judge. That's just my own opinion on how I feel about just murder is murder. It's wrong, regardless of the situation. It's wrong. And I mean, it's even in the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not murder. I think it's number 6. Thou shalt not murder. And people are out there murdering, breaking commandments, taking the Lord's name in vain, all that stuff, not honoring their parents, not telling lies. Thou shalt not lie. People out there lying every freaking day, you know? And I'd be a hypocrite if I said I never lied. People lie. I have lied in the past. I definitely do better now. I mean, there's no reason to lie now. I mean, that's silly. Silly. But then you're like, Ryan, you lying. Yeah, I heard that a lot through grade school, stuff like that. People be like, Ryan, lying, Ryan, crying, Ryan. You hear it. You got to deal with it. People going to find where things rhyme. You got to deal with it. People turn anything into a little rap, rhyme, joke, anything. You know what I mean? And like I said before, there's certain things you joke about and there's certain things you don't. You do and you don't, okay? And going back to, what was it, like episode 57 or something? 56, 57, 58, 56, something like that. Last one with TJ, man, he thought I was making a cancer joke. I was not making a cancer joke, damn it. Let it go, Ryan, let it go. I don't know why I'm still talking about that, bringing that up. That's in the past. That's done, gone. It's moved on. This one's been a little rambling podcast. Little Rambling Ryan podcast. Rambling Ryan. Just try to be better and do better, guys. And so many people don't know things that I've dealt with in the past. Even my own mom still to this day doesn't believe or think that, I mean, I was a heavy drinker and stuff, but I was hiding it. I mean, you know, it's so easy to hide, especially the little shooters, especially in the winter, to throw them in your jacket, your coat, you're good to go. And I was so good at hiding it, you know what I mean? So I dealt with that, dealt with having, I never thought I would want to smoke nicotine until a friend of mine when I was 21 after a breakup was all like, here, smoke a cigar with me. And I'm like, no, man. He's like, it's not like cigarettes. It ain't got nicotine in it. That motherfucker lied to me. I was addicted to those things for a hot minute. Still am to this day. I still want one. You know what I mean? But I switched to Sarah, helped me switch the bad habit for another bad habit. I started vaping, which was bad. And a lot of people may not know that about me because I tried to not really smoke or anything like that, especially around family. Like friends knew, but around family, I tried not to smoke around them. They probably knew. They could smell it on me, I'm sure. But I don't know if they knew about the vaping as much because that was easier to conceal and hide. And I can't tell you how many times I quit that. And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to quit, in case anybody, you know, I've even had a porn addiction. And that's some habit I'm still breaking, you know what I mean? Not that I'm a little TMI there, but still breaking that one. And still breaking the nicotine, trying to break it all. But ain't nobody going to care about that. I mean, shoot, people ain't caring about the school shootings or people dying, you know? So why is anybody going to care about me or my problems? So, yeah, I'm comparing that to something completely don't take that the wrong way. Come on now. Sometimes I don't think things through all the way. My brain just spits. And I just go with it, just run with it. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to compare situations. I'm just saying, like, damn it, Ryan, why'd you back yourself into this corner? You know what I mean? Talking about one horrible problem that's really bad, and then you're all like, well, here's my problems. Like, shut up, Ryan. Shut up. Zip it. Problems aren't even that big, bro. You just got to deal with it. I'm trying to do better, and I'm like, man, that spiritual warfare is real, bro. Because this year I've been bundling up on the books, trying to read more in the Bible and Bible study and men's study and a daily devotional, all that stuff, man. But then the devil hop into my life and then broke that habit a few times here and there where I wouldn't read for a few days or a week. Man, it's so hard, man. People don't understand the walk there is. People think that it's such an easy life, but it's not, man. The closer you try to get to God, the harder it is, and it's not. It's because the devil don't want you there. He don't want you there. He wants to keep you in a comfortable place and make you feel comfortable. You know, like what movie was it? Was it God's Not Dead? I forget what movie it was, but there was a movie And it had this older lady talking, and she compares it to like being in a prison cell with the doors wide open. Devil's keeping you comfy, no reason to leave, all that stuff. And you could at any time. But then one day, all of a sudden, the door closes, which is death. And there's no escaping. Could have left at any time. Now you can't. And that's unfortunate, man, because we're in this temporary life, and you got to enjoy it to the best that you can. But there's certain limits and stuff, and you don't need to overindulge in certain things. I mean, maybe dessert. You can overindulge a little bit of dessert, but you gotta have self-discipline and stuff. Something I'm trying to learn, trying to be better. I'm trying to work out a little bit more, trying to just keep myself more fit. I'm just trying to keep myself accountable, and it's so hard because I've tried to reach out through my best friend David and even my wife, tried to have them help me keep me accountable, and they do it for a few days a week, couple weeks, something like that, and then all of a sudden they just drop, they just stop. And I'm like, I just need that little bit extra boost, that little bit extra help, man. It's like, it's so hard to do this on my own. And I'm trying, and it's tough. And I know some people will be out there, especially the atheists, be like, well, why don't you just give it to God? Where's your God at? Why isn't he helping us stuff? And it's like, he's giving me the strength. I'm praying for strength. He's not going to just snap. People act like he's a genie. He just snap his fingers and answer your prayers like that. Things take time and happens in his will. And if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen, you know? I mean, shoot, I was praying for like 10 plus years probably to have me a son one day, to be a dad, so that way I can give him the life that I didn't really get to have with my own father. And that was a prayer that was an answer, and it's an answered prayer. And even with my wife, I've been praying for somebody I could find and be with for the rest of my life and stuff. Those are answered prayers, but they take time, and you got to be patient. And it's like, you know what I mean? People act like it's like Bruce Almighty, where he's, you know what I mean? It's not nothing like that. Everybody acts like that, but it's not. And then people are like, well, if I had the power to do it, then guys, it's not free will. Then if he just takes out the evil or makes you love him, that's not free will. He's giving you the option and choice to, you know what I mean? And so many people don't want to take that, you know what I mean? And people act like religion is the problem. Religion is a label, man. I don't really consider myself religious. I don't consider myself, I mean, I'm a Christian if you want to label me that or call me that, but I'm a follower of Jesus. I like to follow Jesus. I'm a follower of Jesus. That's what it's supposed to be. Jesus never said to follow religion, Christianity, Buddhism, anything like that, you know. But there's only one true God, and you got to follow Jesus to get to him. So, you know, he even says the only way to the Father, enter the kingdom of heaven is through me. It's through Jesus. And y'all got to remember that and respect that. And you just all got to be loving and understanding. And there's so much going on in the world is so confused, so much delusion out there, and the devil is a massive manipulator at that. And so many people are thinking certain things are a new norm and everything's okay with it, but it's really truly not. I mean, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to talk down on anybody, but if that's how you want to live your life or roll or be, then do you. But I'm not going to sit here and attack you or judge you or tell you you're living your life wrong. I'm going to respect you as a human being and still love you and care for you, but I'm not going to sit here and shame you and put you down and tell you you're going to hell and stuff like that. It's not the way it was. Jesus wasn't going around telling everybody they're going to hell. You know, he was there to help the broken. You know, that's who he hung out with, to help the broken, help broken people like me. And possibly you, if anybody out there listening. But I don't really know how much further I really want to go on this or talk about. I just mainly really just want to try to get consistent. I try to get a podcast out. I didn't get anything filmed with anybody this week, so I'm a little late on it, but I just needed to get it out there and talk about it, because that shooting was pretty heavy on my mind and my heart, and I needed to just kind of talk about it, because it just breaks my heart. And people need to do better. We all need to do better. All those who are doing better can also do more and be better. We all can. And we got to stop living in our phones and in our lives like that. We got to stop living like that. We got to be better. We got to do better. And I truly hope that some way, shape, or form we can one day. But it's going to take a lot to bring us together. I don't even know what could. I mean, even an alien invasion, I don't think would bring us together. People would still be attacking one another, unfortunately. It's just the place we're in right now, and it just breaks my heart, and it's sad. And I definitely send And it's sad. It's sad that I think a news or the governor of Minneapolis or something like that, I think they said that the thoughts and prayers aren't helping anyone right now. And I hate that so many people say that. I hate that so many people say that. And especially for them to say that on live TV. People can send their best wishes, their best intents. They can say prayers for you. They can send their thoughts that they're thinking of you and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. People are praying for those to get better, to be stronger, to get through it. Because they're going through a hard time right now. People take what they can get. So you let them have that. I don't understand why it's such a big deal that somebody had to say that. But my thoughts and prayers do go out to the victims and their families. And I pray that everybody that's out there that was wounded gets better. And those families can stay strong and get through this together. And I'm truly sorry that you had to go through that. Nobody should have to go through that. And I certainly hope and pray that it gets better. It's going to get worse before it gets better, but I pray that at least the school shootings stop. And something needs to be done. There's so much out there. The kids are number one, man. School shootings, kids going missing, trafficking, kidnapped. That all kind of goes hand in hand, but all that stuff needs to be taken seriously, and we need more protection and safety on our children, on these kids. People, it just truly, it really breaks my heart to think about. There's so much wrong out there. You think about it, God and the devil are one letter away from being good and evil. Think about that. Add a D on evil, you got devil. Add another O in God, you got good. Not that I needed to spell that out for any of you, but some of you just goes whoop right over the head. So sometimes you gotta. And the people online that you deal with, oh my gosh, they're so funny. They're so funny because they think they're so Mr. Mrs. Know-it-all, like they know everything. They try to hit you with facts and stuff, and then they just end up looking silly and stupid. And so fun. They try to name call and rage bait, and it's just like, you guys are funny. Chill. I don't even know you. You know me. Yeah, you don't know me. It's the internet. Chill out, bruh. It's not that serious. Okay. Especially over certain opinions. Just even on TV shows or a movie, all of a sudden it's a war in the comments. You're just getting attacked by everybody who loved it. It's like, dang, where's all the people who didn't like it? Can't you guys hop in the comment section and get my back? Come on now. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna leave it on that note before it gets too real again. But thank you everybody for listening, for everybody who's listening. That's a tough one. Why'd you back yourself into this corner, Ryan? Anyway, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Trying to get more stuff up and done. All right. There you have it. Thanks for watching and listening, guys. God bless.